and here out from your left, here comes the F-35A LIGHTNING 2. This would make an iconic photo. First generation? Fifth generation. I don't think there was a generation before. Here they come on the right.
Now that is absolutely spectacular.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a nice camera shot here from the front with your mixed formation.
At the time, we were busy from the moment we stepped onto the aircraft.
Right now you're seeing our 100 Squadron aircraft.
The era. I think there's a bird dog, that's Vietnam. Of course, the Spitfire, you see, with a big 20mm cannon, and the four-bladed prop, which is unlike the version of the film in the battle.
Here we go with a high-speed pass from the two F-35s.
Morning that, of course, is the Navy helicopter, the SEAHAWK, and this is showcasing how our maritime assets work together in the airspace. We wouldn't normally see them over there, and of course the SEAHAWK, the Romeo, would often operate off the back of a ship.
The Boeing 737 is basically the structure of the P-8 Poseidon. I've got to say that, but it's commercial specifically as a military aircraft with substantial modification. Flying it today is the Captain Flight Lieutenant Josh J.B. Brown, who's a QFI on 292 Squadron, and his co-pilot is Flight Lieutenant Thomas Blacky Black, who's part of the 11th Squadron training. The squadron that provides all the upgrade training and introduction to service for the new crews.
Now, of course, the Romeo, you would have seen the display before, it is a magnificent aircraft with the knowledge that it provides within the Australian Defence Force. Look, our Beech submarine rescue helicopter, really big helicopter. Where we had a P-8 Poseidon, and when it was Poseidon, it was, I think, a whole bunch of his training, and he had to be brought in before a little cyclone Alfred that has been recently. And that was all done by our coalition efforts of the Air Force and Navy working closely together.
That's the whole thing, and what you can see is the opening. Just simulating how to run this business. We'll talk earlier to the pilot of the
Back 60 here, the Romeo, which we have Q4 there, another 12. And it's delivery a little later on this year, and he's again. I assume you're the same boy? Get back to me.
It's capable of
off by the Poseidon on high as it departs there to your right. And of course, they're countermeasures for heat-seeking. Yeah, absolutely. We got not just the F-18F Superhornet, we've got the EA-18G Growler as well, so number 1 and 6 squad. We've got 82 wing combat support group. The headquarters is there as well. It is a massive base, and there are thousands of people who go out to Rathbase Handley every day to keep that operational, and just it is our biggest base in Australia. And I tell you what, working there is an absolute privilege. So on your right, you'll see the KC-30 coming through in a simulated fuel dispense with 2 F-35s and a Super Hornet.
Now, the Super Hornet is not actually capable of refueling from the boom, so enormous C-17 Globemaster.
So this aircraft is quite capable of landing on an unprepared strip, so it can land on grass. And what it's doing now is going to showcase how they would deliver some of our security forces personnel. First up from number 1 Security Forces Squadron based at Rathbase Williamstown.
Today, the C-17 is flown by Gareth Gordon, aka Gordo, who graduated pilot's course in 2006, including the Caribou until 2009. He was with us for several seasons and then instructed on the PC-9, which lasted about 1,500 hours. His name has been on since 2014, and became one of the first instructors on time.
And you can see some of our security forces running out that ramp of the C-17J Spartan. You'll see the Globemaster there checking that first to make sure it is all safe for the guys to run out and secure the airfield. The aircraft is not on in this area.
What's that account for if you go around there?
Right, you're going to see some of our fast jets coming through to catch the airfield as well. Like the C-17J Spartan on the ground. The ramp is going through again, and it'll do a fairly consistent takeoff. These are remarkable aircraft to fly on, particularly when they do come into an unprepared strip. Still a bit very reason to make that land very good to go. Everything is pretty up and pretty hard, and it's very nice.
Clutch, would you normally be flying top cover with something like this?
Absolutely we would. So as we're going to see here very shortly, we've got the F-35 and the Super Hornet providing the overhead watch and overhead cover. So vast majority of different roles that we could be doing at any one time. We could be dealing with an air-to-air adversary, we could be doing a research adversary, and we also are working in close proximity with the ground forces to provide protection for them as well. So this is where that role of the mission commander really comes into his own, right? Absolutely it does, yeah.
Absolutely, and right now they would be controlling the C-130J Hercules, which is flying over to do a circuit before it comes into land with some more security forces on board.
And at the same time, the C-27 Spartan departs. As you said, C-27 most notably conducted almost continuous deployments in the Southwest Pacific, including PNG and Fiji.
So very shortly we'll see some of our F-18F Super Hornets and F-35A Lightning crews come through with that overwatch. And normally in this battle space, we would, as we've been saying, Neil, you would be in an E-7 wedge-tail right over the top, keeping an eye on things, making sure that the battle space is safe.
We are providing that coordination between all the different assets. So we follow a thing called an air task order and use that and use flexibility to make sure that everything works as it should do.
And you'll see our F-35A Lightning crews coming through from the right.
brand new version of the Hercules. Are they bragging about that? Do they bragging rights to the more?
The first
With more Overwatch there from our fast jets coming in from the rear of the C-130J Hercules as it comes into land.
So from a Super Hornet perspective, or a fighter perspective, what will you sort of be doing right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'd be in contact with both the aircraft and the ground forces on the ground. We'd be building a switch out in consultation with the E-7 and the mission commander as you spoke about before. And we really just try to maintain battle vessel awareness. Obviously, I'll be very important to support Yeah, I personally do, so I'm biased to drive a Super Hornet, and I fly with weapon systems officers, but all the officers in the community want that one for free, just because we have two guns in the cockpit, and we can quite often separate those cockpits and to multiple aspects of life. Therefore, sometimes the other syncing up and achieving the mission as well.
Hercules, as it works, will receive defense forces around the world. Only 50 years old, it's amazing to have this, still that airframe, that basic working airframe that still operates around the world now.
And we're buying more.
The F-35A Lightning crew coming through again for number 2 operations conversion unit.
Execution a lot more seamless.
Now, if you point very much to the north, you'll see the lights just coming on of the What would be is a short tactical takeoff from the C-130 Hercules after a pass overhead from the Globemaster.
Now this Globemaster has been in the Defence Force for 22 years. His name is probably the first holder. Living in Paris and Grey, he's been in Defence for 13 years in prison.
There's more Overwatch happening right now from our F-18F Super Hornets and our F-35A Lightning crews. You'll see straight jet highly manoeuvrable and super quiet at times too if they fly them in the right way.
What do you make of that? A huge aircraft, low altitude, steep angle of bank.
Oh, it's absolutely incredible, and it's awesome that we can put it on display here at Avalon and really showcase the capability of all the aircraft, but in particular a few like the C-17.
When you go up to this thing, the static display, it is just enormous. Massively capable aircraft. It's a part of the airlift fleet and capable of strategic delivery all over the world.
Now here come the F-18F Super Hornets again, followed by the C-17A Globemaster 3 coming in for a landing. Of fusing, and what you'll see here very soon, ladies and gentlemen, is a simulated weapons pass from both the F-35s and the F-18F Super Hornet.
And there is some pyro ahead.
Get your cameras out for a photo on this.
And you'll have a JTAC here, won't you? Can you tell us what they do?
Yeah, so Joint Terminal Attack Controller, absolutely. So they'll be the primary person that is calling in that strike and is passing the information of where the friendly forces are. So really, really critical person in this Overwatch mission where we are using all of our AMG assets. But yeah, definitely always having a JTAC person on the ground.
Now just watch how quickly this massive machine It's already reconfiguring force aircraft, so you'll see that the flaps, which are providing a huge amount of additional lift, and redeploying it into the wings. The spoilers on top of the wing, basically go back into the wing, and at the same time, the cargo door is open.
Here we go for our first weapons pass simulated from the F-35s.
The security policies are redeploying to get back on the C-17. It's capable of carrying 102 troops or paratroopers, 36 litter and 54 ambulance patients. It carries 170,000 pounds of fuel or 18 pallets of cargo. Carry a tank as well, which is amazing. And 2 Apaches.
Well, the great thing is all of these careers are available to anyone who'd be interested in joining the ADF. So just go to adfcareers.gov.au. We have defence recruiting here as well. You can be one of our security personnel that just ran on board the aircraft, right through the aircrew like the bus. Everyone starts somewhere, don't they?
Absolutely, they do. And I remember exactly that feeling of being a kid here in the crowd, watching all the displays, and then feels like I've blinked and I'm right here, right now.
So growing up, you watched obviously Spitfire in Brisbane. You mentioned that earlier, and you got to fly that last year.
Yeah, I sure did. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but definitely that childhood dream that I had as a kid watching the display.
What do you do during that time?
A lot of buildings. Yeah, a lot of buildings. Unfortunately, this is not something that we see quite often in the airspace or in a display like this. But you're very focused on every manoeuvre, like what William Langers were today for their aerobatic display, just making sure you hit all of your marks, just to make sure that you're doing a safe display, but then also you're letting the jet do the talking with the performance.
Now obviously with something like Riverfire, we see it as, it's a great spectacle, but it's also essential training to be able to work inside those urban environments.
Absolutely it is, yeah. And I'm not the only aircraft at Riverfire. The Super Hornet is not the only aircraft. The Barrel will be the primary aircraft flying this year for the fast jet display, as well as the C-17, which is about to take off here.
How close are you to some of those buildings? Because the photography seems to compress it, but they're amazing images. How close are you?
Yeah, so our minimum distance that we have is we need to be outside of 250 feet, so less than 100 metres from the buildings, which is quite close, but it takes a lot of preparation and planning and simulator events before we actually get authorised to go in and fly the display.
have moments, yes, but just keep going and you'll make it.
You could be in one of either the Super Hornet or the Lightning II that's just broken.
We've got to see all of their requested aircraft as the F-35.
For it. It's a very expensive bit of kit, but it does a great job, a very important job. All of the information, instead of being on a glass screen mounted to the coaming of the aircraft, is projected on a glass screen in front of the pilot's face. So have a look at that. You can focus enough to see it. TACU F-35 rolls out. Followed by a squadron mate doing exactly the same thing. Got some aerodynamic braking and keeping the nose up. 77 squadron aircraft, I believe.
We left home about 9.
And the third and final F-35 to recover. No, that's a Super Hornet, I tell a lie. We will go to an ad break now, be back shortly.
That's where I went wrong. What should I have done 37 years ago? 37 years? No. What should a young person be doing now? I'm just joking.
Oh, that wants to join the ADF?
Indeed.
Put your application in, because the best time to do it was 20 years ago, and the best time, second best time to do it was today. And that way what we can do is we can link you to a careers coach who can guide you through the process. Like some of the careers are hiring, some other ones, so when you want to do this, they just come and then guide you how to do it.
So you actually get given...
Yeah, pretty quick for the size of the aircraft and while you're doing it, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, look, what a wonderful job you do flying is. You really do make us proud, all you guys. So thanks so much for your time and your work in the Royal Australian Air Force 36 Squadron flying at the C-17. Great to meet you, Gordon.
Thanks so much, it's great to be here.